Welcome back again to Lutherans Alive. We continue to talk with Jeanne Christensen, representing the women of the ELCA here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Jeanne, as you have been a part of the women's group at your congregation, and as you have also been a part of the life of the larger church and the larger women's organization at the Synod level, what is it, or what are some of the things that have given you the greatest joy, the things that you have enjoyed the most and been strengthened and have served?
Oh, I think the women, certainly. I am totally amazed at how many wonderful, fabulous, strong women there are out there. And I realized early on, just even in my own congregational unit, that that was so. And then I learned that in the Synodical Women's Organization, and then when I went to some church-wide functions, it just kind of blew me away as to how many fabulous women that there are within the church.
What are some of the things that you have done, specifically events that you can remember, or things that you've been a part of that are good memories for you?
Part of the things that I've been able to do, the opportunities that have been presented to me have been, I feel, enormous. It's, at one point in time, we were doing some advocacy work. This was when I was serving on the Action Committee, and we were asked to go to Washington, D.C., and we were going to do advocacy work. And we wound up going and talking to our senators and our representatives, talking about women's issues, concerns for violence. We visited a food pantry, saw a lot of areas in D.C., did the advocacy, which I never, ever expected that I would be able to do.
Mm-hmm. You've surprised yourself.
Yes.
You've been surprised, or maybe it's more accurate to say that God has surprised you.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
When I first started out, I was asked to be the president of our congregational unit. And at that point in time, the woman who had asked me had said, "I think you'd be okay." And I said, "I think you'd do a good job." And I said, "Oh, no, I couldn't do that. I can't get up in front of people. There's just no way I can do this." And she always smiles and laughs and says, "Look at her now. She's come a long way. She's gone to Synod, and she's done some church-wide things, and she's flown off to Arizona to go to a reservation on her own." And so the opportunities have been remarkable. And I would encourage any woman to be involved in Women of the ELCA, not just for the opportunities, but for the spiritual enhancement. It adds so much to my life.
Watching this program today, there are perhaps a lot of women who come from different congregations, some from smaller congregations, others from larger congregations. Some may have very active women's groups, some may not. What words of encouragement, what specific words of encouragement might you have for those women who come from congregations maybe which are struggling to get their women's organization going, or perhaps are wavering a bit right now?
I would say get involved, and if you can't do it within your own congregation, do it with another congregation. It's much easier to do, as our purpose statement, the first few words are, as a community of women. And I think of it, and I remember the film clip of Tiananmen Square and the one person standing up in front of the tank. And I say, that has to be really brave. It's a lot easier to do in a community of women.
Certainly, there is strength in numbers.
Yes.
And we...
Encouragement. You have somebody affirming you. That's been one of the other really big benefits, is women don't want to see you fail. They want you to succeed in whatever it is you choose to do.
It sounds like that's been true in your life, and that you've received that support and encouragement, and the community. We're back to that again. To that word, in that there is community, and so many people are seeking that right now. We live in a time where we can connect with each other online, and we don't. You hear people talk about the lack of FaceTime, face-to-face with one another, that really strengthens community. And as wonderful as it is that we have these means to communicate with one another, how wonderful it is to have that face-to-face community with people who share your same beliefs, to share your same passions, and the love of the Lord, and love for His church, and to find that. Certainly that's true, that many have found that in our women's groups and men's groups as well, in our congregations and in our churches in general, that we hope to foster that sense of community.
Well, it's easy, as you said, to go online, to do internet, but that's all by yourself. And I look at it and say, isn't our God a relational God? And aren't we supposed to be in relationship with Him and other human beings at the same time? And that's where community comes in.
Thanks for what you shared today, Jeanne. We're very thankful for your presence here with us, and may God continue to bless the women of the ELCA here in southwestern Pennsylvania and elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we are very, very glad that you have joined us today on Lutherans Alive. We hope that if you are part of a Lutheran congregation here in southwestern Pennsylvania, that you will, and if you are a woman, you will be a part of your congregation's women's group. And if your congregation doesn't have a women's group, maybe you could connect with another one somewhere in your immediate area, and gather together and share faith in the Lord Jesus and be connected with one another in community. If you do not have a church home of your own, we hope that you will visit one of our Lutheran churches here in southwestern Pennsylvania. We would welcome you to worship. I'm Pastor Tony Schneck. This has been Lutherans Alive. We thank you for joining us. See you next time.